maybe 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, because everybody was telling me to, like, they were making a playlist, so I'm making one now. So you guys can have this. Oh, sorry, we're on air.
Nope, that's
Hello.
Oh, we're
Not
doing
even a
this.
countdown. You don't even care anymore.
I asked if you're ready, and you're all like, yeah, I'm ready. And I'm like,
We're
okay,
going live.
cool. And then we swapped
Going
and then
live.
I was expecting a countdown.
No.
Okay, we're ready. 4, 3, 2. Nope,
No.
we're gonna just do it now.
This is an
For some
interlude
reason, I
episode.
just didn't expect this to be an episode.
Yeah.
I just thought it was just
An
a chill.
episode.
Shit.
It's an interlude, a break, an escape from reality.
They don't know me.
Not me saving both of your character playlists to listen to later when they're done.
Hello to everyone who's tuned in and hanging out with us so far. Tonight we're doing something a little bit different. Our team needs a little bit of a break. It was a bit of an emotional week last week. Some of us are a little under the weather. I've taken a whole bunch of Tylenol. You know, life's going on. But so tonight we're doing an interlude. We're gonna do a little bit of a hangout, a little bit of chat with the crew that's available to hang out tonight. We're gonna do kind of a see where everyone's at, see how everyone's vibing out. Reveal some cool things to you guys, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how that kind of shakes out here in a minute. But yeah, how's everyone feeling? How are you all feeling?
Good. Oh, a little hot.
I'm feeling
but good.
good.
Yeah. In relation to the campaign, abso-fucking-lutely fantastic, David.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so tonight's gonna be fairly freeform, a little bit of a chance to kind of bug all of our players and see where they're at, see how they're feeling about things, get some insights into how their characters are feeling, how they're feeling about their characters. And then next week we're gonna be starting a little bit late, just some real world stuff getting in the way. So next week when you do tune in, we'll be here at 7:30. But that's a conversation for the end of the show. I'm gonna go around and we're gonna start in reverse order since I don't have to play like the order that things are in. I'm gonna go backwards. The only person who's not gonna change is necessarily Neon, but Teagan.
There you are.
Yeah, I can't forget you. Now I'll have to forget Brian at the end just to really balance it all out.
There you go.
There you go.
How are you feeling? How's Colt feeling? What's your vibe and take on things that have been going on so far?
Colt's feeling good. Me and I don't know. Can I say it, Geek?
No.
Okay.
No.
Things
Absolutely
are
not.
behind
That
the
is a
scenes.
secret if it happens or not.
Things are working behind the scenes. We'll see.
I hope it happens. I'm just saying.
You can talk about anything else, but that.
I don't
Gotcha,
know what's
ma'am.
going on. But I
Exactly.
sure hope I
Only
do.
3 people here know.
We got permission. Hey, first we want
Yes.
to put it out there. We got permission from the DM to do it first.
Oh shit! You guys asked for permission. That's wild.
Oh
I
boy,
know,
yeah,
right?
wild, yeah.
Well, we figured he should know, so.
Yeah.
It's fun to make that happen, yeah.
I can't wait to know that Colt and Ski are secretly married.
Oh boy, oh boy.
No.
No.
I'll
The
let you
short
know
one.
now. No.
I mean, I don't know what it actually is, so I'm just gonna assume it's that until proven otherwise.
That's fair. Yeah. And he's dealing with McCastle there. That's what I'm calling him. I don't care. That's what I have in my notes too.
Yeah,
McCastle.
unhappy meal.
The unhappy.
I think you'll probably see again a little more of a serious side to Colt in the next game.
How's he?
I want to
feeling?
see what Colt's made of.
Right.
God. Right? There's something held back.
Let's see if he's gotten over the I killed these people in cold blood from
Ready to kill again.
Well, let's talk about that, right? So Colt's started this adventure as kind even in his internship. Realistically, he was kind of a sheltered, quiet kid.
Yeah.
You know, he comes from a rich family. We've had an opportunity to explore kind of like what that family dynamic looks like, how that kind of interacts. Sounds like my dog screaming at birds outside. You know, all
Love
the
it.
important things that are going on in the world. Colt's gone through quite the emotional and like growth journey, and again, killed 2 people, not just like in self-defense like he probably has before, but just straight up murdered 2 men.
Yeah.
And like, how's he feeling about that? Like, that's a pretty big life change.
He, at the end, after it happened, he was definitely having like I guess more like a panic attack. But it was kind of like, I didn't do it, and we alerted these guys, like, anyone else here set off like an alarm, they're going to come get us. So it was a tactic that had to be done, in his opinion. Rather deal with someone like head on than be like surrounded.
Okay. And then talking about the other person who's we're seeing a lot of growth from, and a lot of exploration of character, Neon. Let's talk a little bit about Father Sophia Belle really quickly.
Yeah. Sophia's been having a fun little time, and I, as the person playing Sophia, has been having a fun little time. Because really during initial character creation, I was like, okay, like Sophia is a little bit older, and this isn't her first go at this mill of like going out, doing things, having an adventure, having a story arc. And I was really playing with like, what happens after the first story? What happens after, you've achieved a goal and you're settling down, you're trying to move onward from it. And as a writer, it is so difficult to write from a character that feels complete and go, where do we go from here? Something that McAllister hinted out in the last episode and kind of played towards, and I will fully just outright say it here, is that Sophia is trans. She is. And that whole first arc of her story in the backstory was journeying towards that, seeking transition, becoming who she is. And then the story that we're witnessing play out in front of our eyes is, where do we go once that adventure is done? And that's a huge question that I, as myself, as a trans person, have had. I've kind of like reached the air quotes end of my transition, and I'm like, where do I go from here? Great, I have all the gender things I want. What next? Because there's no end. There's no happy little ending. And the answer with Mr. McAllister once again is, oh right. Just because the story is done doesn't mean that it's resolved. And so it's fun playing this character out and having that like, okay, like, hey, Colt's new to this field. Ski's, got that young, naive energy of like, what's going on? Where do I fit into all of this? And so Sophia's like bridging that gap between like, okay, like, let's support these people who are going through their first journey, and also like find something to keep pushing for in myself. And I think that's been a lot of fun to play.
It's been a fantastic character growth to watch, because even from like when you started this, Sophia was this grizzled, seasoned person who didn't like Flint. They had this banter going on, and from the outside, looking in, and I'm sure the audience feels pretty similar in that regard. It's Sophia's been one of the more interesting characters to kind of have in the background and seem to have all this information, mystery, and seeing it starting to come out and be a little bit more revealed. As a dungeon master, by the way, it's a blast.
I've been having such a good time. Today, I was like mentioning to the other players before we went live, is like, today I was so ready. Last game, you ended with the like, Flint, of course, Mr. Casper Jordan, played by Brian, ended with like we're gonna have to talk about that, because that doesn't seem right to me. That doesn't sit for me. And this entire week, I've been sitting on like this, like, that was a big narrative question, and I'm ready for a big narrative answer. Like, give it to me.
Now I need a big narrative rebuttal.
And there's like a whole like, yeah, there's like a whole sticky note on my desktop at work where I just like had a 15-minute break, and I typed out like this whole like 3-4 paragraph long monologue of like, what is the response? And I'm so excited to use little bits and pieces of it in the role play for whenever we get to that scene.
That's like next episode, probably.
Yeah.
You got another week to sit on it and really think it through.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Like, I'm so excited that we like took some time to like sit and just chat and like have a calm little evening, because I would hate to progress without hearts. But I was also like sitting here slurping up my noodles as fast as possible to be like, I'm ready.
Nice. Gathering power.
And we'll come back to that, because there's, you know, you're talking about arcs and stuff like that, and I'm gonna come back and give a peek behind the DM screen, depending on how things go next episode. But about Sophia and her class, because she's a weird class, and I get a lot of questions of why does this exist, and I'll explain a little bit of that in a bit here. But you know, we'll talk, you know, next Geek. We'll talk about Ski, how Ski's doing. How many friends Ski has made? How many friends has Ski made, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, I pulled up the list. Yes.
Those of you in the chat, send questions. Send us questions in the chat. I'm watching.
Moon did ask how many friends Ski has now.
Yes. So I am pulling up Ski's document now. So because we were doing this, I forgot to pull it up originally. Let's see here.
And she also wants to know if you're actually 3 possums in a trench coat.
I am not. Ski is not. Well, I don't even know if Ski can do that. She's wearing very tight clothes.
It's actually a fursuit. It's 3 possums in a fursuit.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus the 14. So we are at 22 friends for
Holy
Ski.
shit!
Wow.
Ski works fast.
Wow.
Oh,
Have you
hydrate.
lost any friends? Have you had to cross
Hydrate.
anyone off your list yet?
No, I have not. That's the thing. When Ski makes friends, Ski protects their friends. So, what a lot of people don't know, last session when Flint dies, Ski's not going to be happy, because we've had this happen before where one of her friends died and was resurrected. And do you guys remember how she had a mental breakdown and bought a shotgun?
Yeah.
Well, she has the shotgun. Now what?
Maybe she uses it.
On that note, I think watching Ski recover from that first failure, and like go through that like narrative beat and that set of beats really helped bind everyone together, and I'm so glad it happened when it
Well,
did.
here's the thing with a lot of backstory. I know we haven't touched base on some of our characters' backstories, like Colt's backstory, Sophia's, which we're gonna be doing next session.
I burned that envelope.
Yeah. Brian burned that. It's like
we haven't heard much about Hart's backstory,
Not really.
and we haven't
not
heard
really.
much about Ski's backstory. We've gotten bits and pieces of each people's backstory, but we haven't dived into them a lot, which I am very grateful for, because there's some things that I'm just like, oh god, how am I going to play this when it happens? But one of the things I will say is Ski pretty much wants to be a guardian, so that's one of the main things. So when Hearts died, she wasn't upset that she herself died. No. She was upset that she couldn't protect her friend, and so that's a huge thing with her. Another thing that I really liked about this campaign, and I love everybody's like dynamic and everything. I feel like we pair off with each other very, very well. One of my favorite things that I do love is just the banter. Like, we have like the family group. This is our family. We have our mom, Sophia, and her dad, Casper. And if the other people in this group can attest, when Ski started learning bad language, I made a meme. And the meme was Casper just saying fuck, and Sophia going and covering Ski's ears,
Right,
and then Ski said it, and then Sophia beat him up. So it feels like that dynamic. Like, another one would be like, Mom and Dad are fighting again. Oh, why are you making them fight each other? I like drama. Like, that's our dynamic. We are a messed up family, but the best of family. And one thing I do love about Ski as well is that I feel like a lot of people can relate to Ski. Like, Ski is a very positive person, but also, you touch one of my friends or / family members, I will kill a hoe. Like, it doesn't give us a shit. And when people are like, yeah, Ski, kill this one, cool. And I don't know why. I roll like shit when it comes to roleplay. The whole Roll20's like, roleplay, Ski got nothing. Ski ain't smart. Ski ain't intelligent. Ski can't do anything. When it comes to fighting, I'm like, that's a nat 20.
Yep.
He just claws people, like cuts people straight in half, and people are like,
That was
well,
amazing.
okay then.
That's been a
What
blast.
That really was.
What
Just-
do we do with this? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I love how we have a Hulk in our back pocket, you know?
It
You
is
know,
a
we're
Hulk.
just like
Ski's a Hulk. But where's Ski?
Ski Hulk.
Yeet.
Oh my god. Already there.
So
It's-
Ski is one of my favorite characters I've ever made in D&D now, and mostly it's because of your guys' interactions with the character too. I've had a great experience playing Ski. I had a
Sugar
great
daddy.
experience. Muffin mommy, sugar daddy, ginger baby. What's all that? Shut up. Casper, I swear to God, shut up.
But,
And fail.
but when
Hey,
you
what are-
speak in Sylvan,
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ski, like I said, Ski doesn't know Common, but Sylvan, she knows that completely, so she can intimidate the crap out of people in Sylvan. Oh, that's her plan. When she was sitting at last episode, sitting at the table, part of her wanted to launch over the table, grab him by the throat, shove him down, and just teach him a lesson.
Now, the person who's probably going through the most trauma right now.
Oh yeah, let's go to the trauma pills.
Let's talk about Casper, Flint, Jordan, and Brian. How you're doing? How Casper's doing?
Casper is doing surprisingly well, given all the circumstances and like the fact that he has within possession his daughter at this point is confusing, David. And also, I don't like that response. Face back.
I agree with that, Brian.
Because why? Unless he really, honest to God, does care for her, and it was his son that really fucked up, and then now I'm asking, where's the son, right? Because that's something he's just like generally been confused about. You killed me, dude, and then you gave me my daughter. Like
He not only keep in mind
he could have killed everybody.
He stopped the one person who would not have been able to cast spells from not being able to cast spells, and the only person in that room who could have revived you, and then killed you.
Like a dick. and then we walked out. Like again, he could have just. He didn't have to stop there. He pieced. How close were we? We weren't close at all, right?
No, I don't think we hit. I don't think anyone hit him
So-
I
aside
hit
from
him.
me.
So
I hit him multiple times.
Oh, no, you hit
yeah,
him.
so
And-
Ski managed to land several really good hits on him, actually.
Because Ski can't
Okay,
do
sure.
any role play, but when Ski needs to hit something, you hit something. But
Less ski.
I will
still
say,
one of my
America.
I will say, I've already introduced you to the mechanic that's at play here once before.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't like that.
I don't either.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah,
my boss battles aren't just one boss battle; they're tiered.
oh yeah,
True. Yeah.
I know.
But one of my favorite things still, and I don't know why, it keeps on popping up in the back of my mind when I think about this campaign.
Mhm.
It's just when we're trying to grab info about this gang, which shouldn't be spoken out loud, and the two are fighting in the background. He just walks up and like, you have this info on this really bad gang,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, what the fuck?
Just readily available.
Yeah.
I'm
It's like,
just
yeah,
like-
they'll be in your box.
Yeah, they'll be in your
Just like, oh.
box.
Like classic, like overthinking something. Like trying to like formulate like how the fuck we just walk up. Just do the thing.
I don't
Sometimes.
know. Sometimes I'm like, that's great. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to take away anybody else's spotlight, but at the same time, this is what Ski would do. Ski would have no filter.
I mean, they were fighting, so it makes total sense.
And it
great.
was such a peak like Ski moment.
Yes.
Like I look back on that and I still laugh.
Yeah.
I've really been enjoying the dynamic of having frenemies in the group.
Mhm.
as well, where there's like and like, I'm sorry, but last episode that shit just exploded for
Oh my
me
God.
because you got paid for
Yeah.
something involving her, but it could have been a rescue mission. It doesn't have to have been something nefarious, and we're going to talk about it later, but you know, get there. But yeah, that was mind-blowing, and it's been really fun though, having this like kind of banter. It's been fun like having like a little back and forth, and then the way that in the previous episode was like us coming together with the stones back and forth, and like keeping an eye on the game, and like keeping an eye on the outside and stuff. That was a super fun scene. I just really enjoyed that so much, and it's just been really fun. Like,
Why did my
having
camera
that
just
open up a
die?
bit more.
Oh, now it's back.
There you go.
Oh,
back
dang
with
it,
all the
it's
other settings
back!
though.
Give me 1 second. Why are you doing this again? What button do I press? You? No. I will find it. It's on my camera.
Yeah.
There we go.
Casper's been having a great
God,
time.
why is it so zoomed in? Hi!
Wow.
Hi.
Wow.
Everybody! How's it going? Why are you doing that? Let's just. Oh,
Look
no.
like a hockey
Oh.
player right now.
Oh, no, now it's completely zoomed in.
That's
There we go. I got it. Buttons. Gotta love
Yeah.
getting a new camera set up, right, guys? God damn it.
Like,
Best show to do it on.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. No, I
Yeah,
apologize.
he's curious about what's going to happen next, and I've really been enjoying playing him. It's been fun to really sink my teeth into a character that like I can kind of just change into, and just be like, I'm going to come here, wear the whole getup, do the voice, and just like really try to immerse myself into this amazing world that my DM has put together. And having
Oh.
the arc be very much about him right now, it's like it's incredibly fulfilling, and I'm just really excited to see everyone else's arcs, honestly.
It's so good and it's so touching. Even the story, it just like there's points where I'm like, I'm almost at tears, and I'm like, I need like 5 minutes.
Yeah, when
yeah,
we,
yeah.
like when we had talked about like when we stayed last episode and chatted for a little while, and we kind of opened up to some of that stuff, I was like, wow, yeah, it's really a powerful moments in there. So,
But it's so great that we have this community as well. Like, I feel like you guys aren't just my friends anymore. You're my D&D family. I can come to you and I can talk to you about this stuff. And we have such like we have some amazing NPCs. We have an amazing world thanks to our beloved DM. Praise be him. Because he's our god and he could kill us any moment if any wishes. Let's not think about that. But he has that power. He just said a fucking
Already
word
done
and
it.
one of us dropped. So
I mean, I think it's one of the best things, like, because before coming and playing with Logomancy more and playing more as a player, I was in that like forever DM position, and I think the one most valuable thing I learned like through my experiences with theater, with writing, with being a DM for a long time, is that like each character is a proposition and there is no answer for it. So every time I sit down and I play Sophia Belle is a question to myself, to the other players, to the DM, and at the end of the day, I have to be ready to let that question end, to have it have a final answer, whether that's the answer that I wanted from the question, from the character, or the answer that somebody else is going to give that question.
well,
And if that ends up being, you know, getting gunned down by McAllister's men next episode and just dying, that's just as good a narrative end as anything else I could have imagined.
how about we
Because at the
don't
end of the
do
day,
that?
there's no. I mean, I hope she doesn't die. However, like a Pyrrhic sacrifice of self to save the party is like just as justified an end for her story as like anything else could be.
there
It's
was
as
something said to me recently, is like, we're all actually here to observe the story of you. Like, I'm here to observe Brian's story, not
Mhm.
necessarily to point it in every single direction it can go. So with our characters, fuck, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We can want some stuff and plan for some stuff, but like we're here ultimately to witness their story as well, as much take part in it.
And it's one of those things too, in like writing a character. Behind the scenes, I'm working on a series of shorts to kind of rival David's stealing a TV show for your D&D campaign. And I'm working on the flip side of that, of like, hey, let's talk about how to write a good character. Let's talk about like how to build inspiration for a character, at least from, you know, my perspective and how I write. And the main proposition I always ask everyone is, at the core of every character, there's a question to ask. And if
What
it's
is your
not like a
center?
what if, yeah, it's a what is your center, but it can't be my center is this thing. The center of any good, compelling narrative is a what or a how question, right? And with the bullet bag that Sophia carries and that trunk full of empty shells, the original question was, how does one redeem themselves for things they don't feel bad about, things they felt necessary about them? The more solidified question that I have now, and I sent to David just a little bit ago, was, what happens when Atlas gets tired of carrying the world on his shoulders? Because we're seeing now more and more of like this prophecy coming out with like, perhaps that's Sophia who's supposed to break the pillar. Like, that's a lot of pressure. Or like being the group mom is a lot of pressure. Being a pillar in Sandmist's community is a lot of pressure. And that goes all the way back to the backstory that we haven't touched yet. But there is constant responsibility and pressure and pressure and pressure and responsibility. And you have to be on top of it. You have to be ahead of it. You have to see every angle before it can get too far away. In that 2-3 month gap, where we all had that, like, what are we doing during this time in Sandmist to build the community? I was like, oh yeah, Sophia's writing legislature, making sure everything's in balance, balancing a criminal network and the law all at the same time, and trying to make sure everything's fair. That's so much pressure. The world is on her shoulders and she is cracking under the weight.
The best part is there's two people who that prophecy could be about.
Yes.
And I loved watching both of your reactions in real time to it being read out loud, for the record.
Who was the second one meant to be?
That's a great question. That's a behind the DM screen for the moment question.
All right.
I don't know. It could be hard, like, because we only know it's hard. But here's the thing, but like, I'm excited for next session because there's a line that I want to say, and I'm gonna say it here, and it's pretty much be like, so wait, he dead named you? Just bring that out. Like, that's not okay. Papa says that's not okay. Just
Yeah. And it's one of those things too that I think it's something that's really great about this this group and this campaign and Logomancy, is like, we had that moment of like, something's weird with Elias at the adventuring company. I'm gonna look into it, but the moment I have that, like, okay, I see you. You're fine. I'm not gonna pry further. But then McAllister being like, he was and I'm like, that's a bad man. And set up that he is a bad man.
Bad man.
And everyone knows
That
he's
is
a bad
man.
And that's phenomenal.
It's like, as a DM, it's one of my favorite ways I've been able to communicate, like, hey, this isn't a good person. And it's through a very modern lens, like, realistically, right? Is where it's, you know, we live in a world where it's not okay, right? And you know, so to be able to, you know, you and I had this conversation when we started, when we were talking about Sophia and kind of the path that Sophia was going to take. And it was one of those conversations I had where I very, like, explicitly asked, like, hey, is this a thing you're okay exploring? And when you were like, yeah, 100%, it was like, okay, I need a way to, like, show McAllister as, like, he's the worst
bad guy.
kind of evil, because to the people of the town, James McAllister is a great person. He's like, he's there to, like, he donates a lot of money, he keeps the town in good order. You know, it's a slightly poorly kept secret that, yeah, sure, he runs a criminal underlord, but, like, the people of Corsten, for the most part, genuinely think he's a good person, and that everything he does can't really be that evil. And it was that kind of like, I don't want to get too political. So I'm not going to name any like specific real world examples, but it's that like idea that you have a person who some people look at and are like, no, this is a good person. This is what good people do. And little things, right? You know, we were talking about the math earlier today, Neon, where we had that conversation, and it was, you know, if you convert to real world dollars, the amount of money that was played for in that pot is $13 million US. That is how much money these people he was willing to give you. What was that? Like $260,000 or something like that. Like, or no. Hold on, what was it?
It would be a fifth or a sixth.
Yeah, 260,000 was a single noble times. Yeah, so you're looking at like $2.6 million he effectively just handed you and said, go ruin a man's life by out gambling him.
I will say this. I just loved when Sophia, like, he put the coin down and said, this is payment. And Sophia just went over and just like, I'm going to blow your hand up now. And just like, I'm like, whoa, that just, and now we're fighting. Okay.
But it was such a raw, visceral moment, right? There was, it's the thing I'm loving about playing as your guys' dungeon master, and it shows a growth of you as a group from when you first started, where you would talk about every little detail, to this moment where it was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go in, we're gonna be super tactical, we're gonna go thing, and like he pushed Sophia's buttons to the point she broke. She did something stupid. Realistically, it's her character flaw. And it was was what it was meant to, like, that's who he is as a character. Like, again, peeking behind the mask and showing a little bit of like that's one of James McAllister's strengths, specifically as a very high level bard, with one level in cleric.
Write that shit down. Write it down.
That one level of cleric is so good.
And so there's a reason for that, right? Yeah, I kind of want to give a little bit of like world, because for those of you that have watched and you're like, man, this world seems really fleshed out. It's 216 pages currently. That's the lore document that exists that like runs everything behind, is 216 pages. And a lot of it's like things that you guys will never see, but it's stuff like I needed to know before I was ready to this, because I've been working on this for almost 2 years now. I just realized how long that's been going. Yeah, but like it's you know, this world was always meant to be something like fleshed out and like equivalent to Naylor in a slightly different way. People ask why priests exist. Priests are reskinned and recolored clerics. So, you know, you might hear us refer to Sophia's class as a priest, not a cleric, or not a preacher, sorry, not a cleric.
Preacher, not a cleric.
Yeah. And there's a reason for that. And there's a distinct difference between a cleric, which worships a single god, and preachers who worship all gods. And there's reasoning for that. And I've told a lot of people, hey, it's narrative text. Sophia's starting to see the problem with drawing the attention of a single god. There are consequences for the gods noticing you.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of those things, is there's a consequence that exists. All of your classes have some consequence to their existence in other ways. Preachers are a response to that, you know, and there's an entire faction that you guys have barely even know exists. Probably some of your characters maybe know, but they're an example of the dangers of large religions, and it's really interesting to watch. You kind of almost stumbled into it naturally, Neon. Like, I don't know how you kind of like, you're like, I'm going down this path, I'm gonna do these things, and I was like, yes.
It was honestly, it's one of those things that's been so interesting to play with Sophia is the concept of like faith and religion. because it's very much like we've stumbled into an area where we have these two gods that are very prevalent within the narrative, and there is such a like pull as a character to be like, okay, let me eat that up, let me play with that. You've given me a fun little toy, and I'm gonna sit here and spin all the dials and click all the buttons on it and see what happens. And it's been something so interesting to play with in the aesthetics of the character, in starting to really understand the ups and downs of like getting a single god's attention, being or being at beck and call to all gods, because there's equal pay for both of these things for different payoffs. And Sophia's definitely within the last few sessions set herself up as this giant beacon to calamity. And it's very interesting to watch and to play with.
It's been one of the most like fun elements of because you know I've written 216 pages. We started this with only about 183 in episode 1.
So what I hear is that we keep on giving you more homework.
Exactly. You add to the world.
Yes.
So you know, as much as I built this world for you guys to play in return, the world you are giving back is every time we play with it is an opportunity to kind of reflect and kind of piece together the little elements, and really start to focus. I think as a dungeon master, it's one of those things that a lot of DMs don't really get an opportunity to say thank you for. You know, this world, it means a lot to me. It's something I've put a lot of time, effort, and thought and energy into. And then to be able to hand it to such a skilled group of players. And I'm really sad that unfortunately Pixie wasn't feeling well tonight and wasn't able to join us. But you know, like genuinely, like the 5 of you have given me one of the most brilliant dungeon master experience like I've ever had, and it's been great. And I do want to kind of reward you guys a little bit for that, and I don't know.
Aww.
We're gonna-
Oh my god, is anyone else like their heart just go?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not about to
Always.
cry.
I mean,
Talking about-
you've already given me a noble, David, so I think we're you know,
I'm good.
I got plans for that, buddy.
No, I've already messaged David going, hey, I'm gonna get a very special gun built and enchanted, and it's gonna cost a whole $2,500, as much as a keep, apparently. So
I'm very excited for this campaign. It's one of my favorite. It's one of the things like, hey, I can even attest this in our group chat. We count down the days till Wednesday.
we do.
It's
Yeah.
Thursday, and we're like,
World-
is it Wednesday yet?
Is it Wednesday yet? Like the world is so beautiful. I really want to say thank you to our DM, especially for building this world and allowing us to actually make characters and build in this, because it's very special. And while David's doing that, I also would like to ask the party, who's our favorite NPC at the moment?
Ooh, favorite NPC.
Was it Frederick? The that's been
Frederick.
honestly so
The
good.
lost, the father.
The Lost, yeah.
Is it cheating to say Tent, considering Tent was born?
I don't know. That's pretty fucking good too.
It's
Yeah.
an Eldritch God. It's no longer an NPC.
Yeah.
The guy.
Yeah, with the spicy booze. Yeah, for sure. Actually, on a more real note, I love Elias and the Kobolds. Bluer, bluest, red,
Yeah,
redder,
yeah.
reddest.
Yes. I have them on my list.
they-
It's my friend. My friend list. Bluey, bluer,
Hey.
red, reddest, ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's also a character from Sophia's backstory that I've mentioned on stream and like tried to reach out to, but we haven't met yet. And I'm very excited
yeah.
to see
Mouse.
how they are, and that's Mouse, the albino kobold who was my informant back from forever ago that I was trying to get in contact with, just to like be like, hey, maybe you have a down low on things that I can access. Didn't, but like I'm very excited for that character to come out too eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed.
I love this campaign. I love all the characters. Like, I just love sitting there, just be like, okay, what are the other characters gonna do now? And I become Ski. Like, I'm like, like, I'm so excited, and then I'm like, that Ski energy, I'm gonna save that for Wednesday.
A few of you asked me what the Frontier Adventure Company logo looks like, so I've got it up here on Twitch for you guys to see. This isn't the finished
Oh,
version yet.
wow.
I
This
like
this
it.
isn't done yet, so don't count it as full. But this is kind of the direction we're going with it. And hopefully we can kind of continue to flesh out and make look really cool. But I'm really stoked. I wanted to kind of show off a little bit, and let you guys know what's going on. I don't have anything else for you guys for the night. So this is where, you know, as a dungeon master, I'm gonna throw it back to the crowd and say, you know, if there's anything else you guys want to chat about, this is your opportunity. If not, we can send on the love to someone else, and we can have our Wednesday night back. Go watch the Fallout series if you haven't already. It's really good. That's all I'm saying. You know.
I've been meaning to. I
Wow.
have-
So that's where you're like, I should go watch the Fallout series so I can have someone to talk to and rave about, and so that we can have our own little group chat.
Look, they put a sassy ghoul in it. I'm gonna watch it eventually.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Where's that one at?
Prime.
Prime?
Yeah.
Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it
But
the
if
other
you
day. I'm
don't
like,
have
oh,
Prime, there is a
The other Amazon-owned streaming service
Oh,
that
man, they
has
started putting-
not our lovely faces on it yet.
All I'm gonna say is, if you can't get it on Prime, it's unfortunate, but you can always just
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, that's Hancock, baby.
Yeah.
Nice.
I will say this. One of the things I'm
Agreed.
really looking forward to is I love listening to other people's backstories, and that's one of my favorite things to do. Before Logomancy, I was mostly a DM, and so I listened to a lot of people's backstories, and I'd make my own world or I'd follow the books. So being as a player and being in part of it, it makes it special. So I always say to people who have DM forever and they're like, oh, I'm always DM, I'm like, be a player, find someone to play with and just be a player, because you're going to see that it's like another side of the coin. It's completely different, but it also feels extremely special at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm kind of overwhelmed by the amount of talent at this table. Honestly, this
So
is like the first like table I've like been so passionate about and so like always left wanting more. And I'm just like, yeah, give us like 20 fucking years of this shit, you know? Like just
Yeah.
jam it in.
We
Like,
have
honestly.
the comic relief, we have the genius Tony Stark, we have
Yeah.
the priester
Yeah.
Sophia who does all the beautiful moments when they're doing like, okay, you're gonna be doing you're gonna be
Body
out watch.
horror.
What are you doing? And I'm like, oh my god, that
Yeah.
sounds beautiful. Oh my god, that sounds terrifying. Like it's
Yeah.
so detailed. I love it. And you can see the DM part of Neon coming out at that part, which is mwah. And then we have
Thank
I'm
you.
we
really
have Colt
excited to
who
see
like
Colt.
switches like from like when they're at the party, they're
It's
very classy. They're very like that. And when they're out
Yeah.
at the party, they're like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing, guys.
like he's bipolar at times.
like a little out of their element. Like I'm super excited for Colt to like get grounded and like kind of like just I don't know, you know, do something fucking really fucking cool, because I'm excited to see what it is. Because there's like this fucking mare's leg or whatever it's called,
Yeah.
a
It
leg
is
for an arm for a gun.
Oh, it's so good. I want to like props to everyone at the table too for having such strong like character
Mhm.
identity
Mm.
and like design. Cause like Ski is always such a like, haha, I'm here
Yeah.
and we have friends. But like we're starting to touch this like, oh, there's more here. We're pulling on the string more, and there's more than just like I'm a funny little bunny boy. Hello.
Buddy woman.
Bunny woman, sorry. Bunny boy is I think a reference to something else.
I know what you're referencing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
I got you.
And then like seeing like this driven like Flint is such a driven father figure, and I know it's such it's a trope that we see often in media, but rarely do we see a driven father who is also like soft and caring, and like so genuine. Like you mentioned I think a session or two as a joke, you're like, oh yeah, Flint's playlist is just taken,
Yeah.
and taken, and like having that like, oh yeah, like the Taken movies exist, and it's basically about the same thing, but like the difference between Flint and the main character from Taken is that Flint is an actual real man who cares.
He cares deeply, and not just
Who has a beating
not just
heart.
about like his like immediate family, but also the people that like are around him, and especially lately because well, you guys have put your lives on the line to join me in trying to get this done, and it's just been crazy for him to have people that he can rely on that aren't in it for the business, because a lot of it in his
Absolutely.
life has been transactional, and now it's like they're really invested like real team members.
Oh
And
yeah, Ski's gonna take some heads next episode.
Oh yeah, no, I'm excited.
Anger.
And he's so like when he told his wife, yeah, one last job, he was lying because he's got all fucking 3-4 more jobs to complete as well.
I mean, I'll be real with you. You were like one more job, and I was like, cool. End of this game, we're gonna have Flint sit down and be a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He can stay with Tazzy. He can be like just staying at
Yeah.
Tazzy's.
But like,
He was straight up telling her the truth in the moment, but like it's not like he's just gonna off himself at the end of it and be like, all right, I'm going to meet her.
I'm home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great
now-
news! We found my daughter. It's great. Thank you so much for all the work you guys did. Just real quick second here, guys. I'm gonna.
Just all of a sudden you're just like, and then we just have the child and we're like, what
Yeah.
do we do with you?
Is it just me, or does it smell like Teen Spirit in here?
Yeah. So he's really excited to like pay back the people that have shown this like amazing
Yeah.
strength in him too. So yeah.
No, if
And then like the comment goes to Colt too, because like I you're doing such a good job of like playing this, like I'm just trying to find my way through the world, and like acknowledging the privilege that you come from, but not letting it rule Colt's perspective is so good. Because like my note taking, everyone in the audience and at the table with me, my note taking occurs the day after or like a few days after. I go back and I rewatch the episode and I'll take my notes then. Because like when I'm sitting at the table with you, I want my like full attention on what's happening in the moment.
It's so nice.
And so like I go back and I like watch every episode, and it's so like interesting and cool to see those like, oh yeah, I thought that was really cool at the table, and then like listening to it back and being like, okay, like it wasn't as much, or like having the reverse of that, being like, oh, like this was nothing, and then I go back and I'm like, oh shit, that hit hard.
Oh,
Or
the one line from last
You
one
just
where
might
you're
go to
like,
the bathroom
oh.
and like shit you're spewing, and I was like, damn, that's such a good like.
I think I was trying
like,
not
it's
to
such a,
laugh
like,
when I heard that.
good
I'm like, nope.
When I heard that, I was just
also
like,
such a funny line.
Yeah.
Like
It was
it's so good.
poignant because of course we were talking about the room at the point and he was talking shit and I'm just like, yep. But I've
Yeah.
always wanted to bust out the fucking using a paper or a toilet paper as a napkin.
Yeah.
it was good. It was,
And
it
then
was-
Hearts 2, of course, is not here, but it's also so much fun watching Hearts and Pixie play this character who is kind of like this narrative inverse of Flint, and that they both have such a heart to them, but the struggle is the opposite direction, where Hearts has spent so much time building up this like infamous persona of Hearts, and of like, yeah, I'll gamble and steal and become this like infamous thief, but also I am going to teach these kids how to play cards, and I am going to let them win sometimes, and I am going to be there to support the people around me. And it's such a like fun through line for a lot of these characters, is the like, but like what if they cared, but like what if this narrative trope cared?
See, one of the things I like to do is when I work, I like to listen back to our podcast. So not our podcast, our things. I say podcast because like my phone's in the back, I have my headphones on.
Yeah.
And I have to skip because I don't want to ruin the surprise. I have to skip when the cone of silence is being down. I'm like, all right, I have to skip this until the end because I'm not taking any spoilers. That's for Pixie to know. I ain't going to be watching that.
Yeah, I know. Afterwards, part of me was like, "Do I go back and watch it?" But I'm like, "No, no." Because then I'll know, and I don't want to pretend that I don't.
Yeah, it was a tough moment for me as I did the same thing. I'm going back and I'm just like, oh shit, I should fucking stop it right now. And then I'm just like, we chatted about stuff, and then you asked something and she was just like, yeah, exactly that. And then I realized, oh shit, you may not have heard or known. And I don't know, I was just like, I got a little curious.
I was extreme. I couldn't do it. I was just like, I can't do it. I need to know. Part of me, like, I need to know secrets.
I felt
Like
so
when it
bad.
comes to like video games and everything, I need to find every single little piece of it. Like, I am like a completionist. I will go to every single point on the map to find if there are secrets. And I couldn't do it. I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do that. Neon, you did it. I could see it on your face. Neon,
Yeah.
I'll be real with you. They were like, I'm gonna mute everyone but Hearts, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
my brain needs to consume the content.
I'm just like, I'm just a viewer. I'm a viewer. I'm giving us views. I'm just experiencing the viewer. And
Yeah.
but it was also,
Yeah.
I felt like it was mostly touched
It was
on
also one of those.
straight away anyway. And I don't remember. I remember what I did just before we came out here. I don't remember.
I just love this
I
story,
also-
and I liked my co-players. I love everybody at this table, and I
Yeah.
can't say who's my favorite character because I love them all so much.
True.
So, oh, there goes my camera again. Let's see if the vlogs comes back.
I love them all so
Yay,
much.
guys! God damn it! Like every hour.
I'm excited.
Every time Geek lies, we buzz
Yeah.
their camera.
Oh, you
Hi
did.
again.
I'm excited to
Oh,
give
I didn't
my
even get closer.
more life.
Hello. I'm gonna
There you go.
figure that out. I'm gonna have a word with James. James, fix my shit.
Can't wait to use 6 more, honestly. It was
Yeah.
like a lot of fun, like having them come out and pulse like healing for everybody as well.
Oh, that was
That was
awesome.
cool.
Like recovery or whatever.
And
not
you
heal.
know what we
Yeah.
missed? Because he said, I expected better. I'm like, bitch, you haven't hit one of us. What the fuck are you talking about? I expected
I mean,
better.
I feel like there was a part of me, as a player in the moment that was like, David is choosing not to kill
that's
us
probably
right
true.
now.
Let's be honest.
But there was a part of me as Sophia listening back and like, I very much view, like when I go back and listen to an episode again, I try to view it as much as like, what does Sophia is reflecting on this, what is she taking away from it? And Sophia's takeaway from the last episode is, from the moment we stepped into this town, this man played us like
Oh,
a
yeah.
fiddle.
Yeah.
Oh, when he made us
Everything
all,
was
when he
chosen.
made us all like kneel. Oh,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
My
Not
character,
even-
like my person, I was like, that's really cool. My character was like, okay, now he needs to die like now. Like there's no dead.
Yeah.
But we were
But, like,
completely
even-
subject to his whim. Like
Yeah.
He's not up for that.
Oh, absolutely.
and the whole town has been like that for so long that it's just like, how do you get anything done?
Here's
Like we're
here's
just
So,
gonna
like-
die in here.
here's the thing. He's not the first McAllister with this kind of power.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. It was passed down from generations. It's gonna take a bit to build back up. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting what happens next episode, because if there is another boss fight, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to hold
Yeah.
Steve back.
We've got a weakness on him though. Dave, get out of here for a second.
All right,
He
yeah.
does need a
Okay,
power
okay,
transfer. He needs a power transfer.
Up, David's back.
Yeah. Yeah, no. His weakness is actually, I slipped 7 laxatives. in his breakfast.
He's gonna cheat himself.
Speaking,
Can
going
we
back
get
to him making like Colt and Ski kneel, was there a, could we have rolled high enough to avoided it?
Oh yeah, like
Okay.
that was a
We
a
rolled like
legit-
an 8.
I know
Yeah.
we rolled,
like
shit,
shit.
but
So
I don't know
he's-
what level he cast it at.
He's got like a like his capacity for like spells like mass suggestion is dangerous, and that's the kind of like that's like how he's built as a character. You know, I'll steal one of James's ideas with character cleaver, right? He's built as the peak eloquence bard. So a lot of his stuff is
Love
built
it.
around that.
Oh,
So
I had an eloquence card.
like with a lot of his skills, he doesn't need to use spells to make people do what he wants because he's an eloquence bard.
Yeah, his conviction is so fucking high regardless. He's just like, hey, I'm gonna persuade you by just like asking you to do something, and they're just like, okay, boss,
Yeah.
done, no
Yeah,
problem, I got that, or I'll figure it out. Just leave it to me.
I'm curious now because like there's a part of me that wonders. I haven't actually looked at it since I created the character and kind of got everything set up. But we'll load it in really quickly here, and we'll.
I will say this. After that, I sat down and wrote some more of Ski's backstory and sent it to David. I'm like, I'm giving you ammunition. You're gonna make me cry. Yeah. Here's some more ammunition. Have fun. I'm gonna go over there now.
So, assuming he was capable of rolling a 1 on persuasion,
Assuming.
Yeah,
as an eloquence bard, his lowest possible persuasion roll is an 18.
Holy sh!
All right.
So like that's how that character's built, right? And I'm only telling you that because he doesn't care about persuading you guys anymore.
Yeah.
That's no longer his objective. He's no longer playing that game.
God, I am so excited.
and
So
he's playing
excited.
defensive. You got him on the ropes.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
Die. Okay.
See you later. It's been fun.
I got you.
So like for
Really.
that battle you fought was with him as a character. Stage 2 is him as an actual like proper built out NPC.
Right.
Right.
And stage 3.
There is no stage 3.
There's no stage 3. He gonna take that head.
Stage 3 is the
He's gonna be
impasse of
lucky
the
if he gets
character's
stage 2.
experience.
But that, so like that's actually how now the battle with Nalthak worked as well. When you fought him and he went all the way back to full health because accidentally you guys could see his health bar. When that happened, he switched from being a character to being an NPC sheet, and he had an entirely different set of skills that show up as a result. It's kind of how I do boss battles in this game. Is that you get the two sides of things, and some NPCs are NPCs, and then there are secondary NPC that changes afterwards. But and I find that as a dungeon master for you guys, it means it's not just like, oh, we have to whittle down his health bar and blah blah blah, and we figure out his attack pattern and everything's exactly the same. Because the video game trope that you fall into, so I was like, oh, I'm going to steal the way that video games like, you know, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, change it up where it's like, oh yeah, you killed phase 1. Unfortunately, phase 2 has more health and an entirely different move set.
I remember she's like, hey, it's dead, yay. Oh no.
Yeah, like why is the boss music still playing?
What do you mean I can't rest?
Stage 3 is
Stage 3 is profit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
This is we love you, Moon. We love you.
I mean,
Love you, man.
probably not wrong.
I mean, no, that seems about right.
2,500 nobles. Or a noble, rather.
Noble.
500 nobles. Oh.
Like, whoa, that's a lot.
Wait, where's his treasury?
I from the start misunderstood how much a noble was, and I thought that each noble was 25,000, not 2,500. And so I thought that like pot was way bigger than it actually was.
Yeah, that would have been an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's
Yeah, especially the like
I feel like
sliding a noble over to Sophia was like he just slid $25,000 to me.
Take it.
Jesus.
I feel like we should maybe approach that dude. What was it, Reginald?
Reginald.
The who was the guy that we that Hearts out pokered?
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Steal something. I don't
Guy
know.
that
He's the gnome.
He owns a mining company, and that's all
he was like
he cared
super
about. I'll be
distraught and
real with you.
everything about it. And
yeah.
I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
curious
I feel like
because
we need info, yeah.
the guy that we like did this for, we know is a bad dude. So did we just like fuck over a good dude?
Yeah, Reginald McCoy.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I very much subscribe to the Brennan like method of like capitalism is the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's not actually
like we've had multiple conversations, David, where like I'm like, Sophia believes capitalism is the bad guy, and you went yes. And I went yes. And then we clasped hands and became comrades.
I'm very excited for next week, learning about Sophia's backstory and figuring out.
Here's the thing, is you're gonna get a stone, like you're gonna get a drop of the whole ocean. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
I'm also real. I know what next episode's gonna be, and so someone's gonna really need to help Ski because
I got you.
Do any
We're
of
gonna
us
have
have
some
some
problems.
emotions?
Ski is gonna be extremely mad and also mad at theirself, and that's not gonna be good.
Well, make sure you have
Yeah.
Which also, I love the Fluffit. I love Strudel,
Yeah.
and I want.
Oh yeah.
I want a plushie.
Fluffit's so good.
Want a plushie.
If
Just
I had
for my
the
shoulder.
if I had the capacity to get one made for you and or sell it online for other people to have, I would do that. But like, I looked into it. I legitimately looked into it because I was like, I kind of want to see about getting one of these made. It's like, oh yeah, like a one-off like special plushie you can kind of get made for about $600, and I was like, okay, never mind.
But
Excuse me, China. Can I get 1,000?
Yeah.
Like sure. 16 cents.
I love it. I love it so much. I love all the characters, the background, the creatures. This has been one of my favorite campaigns to ever be in, and I want to thank you again, David.
I'm just happy you guys could play with me.
Yeah.
Um,
I want to thank everyone. Strudel is not a bunny. Strudel is a special creature that David made specifically for this campaign called a Fluffit.
it's like a rabbit.
Moon. I just saw the question come up. From
Oh
Moon.
yes, Fluffit is pretty much. I got the vibe like it's kind of more like a chinchilla than a rabbit.
Imagine a rabbit-sized chinchilla. It's effectively what Fluffits are.
I was just picturing that it was one of those little furry balls from Star Trek that you can't like get wet, otherwise it
Tribbles?
multiplies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it. I love it, and it's one of my favorite things. And now, like people are talking about, oh, Ski's starting to learn Common. That was one of the main things that was going to be like a big. I have this thing for Ski. She doesn't know Common. She knows Common now. That doesn't mean she's not gonna put Strudel in ridiculous outfits and play pranks on people. That's.
Oh my God.
We got Strudel in a top hat last session. Let's remember
True.
that.
This is
With
true.
a bow tie.
That was so cute.
Very fancy.
Mhm.
But I'm very excited because I there are some things like as a player I want to ask my other players, but I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't
Do
know.
it.
Like, how did Colt lose their arm and leg? Why does hearts
We'll
go by
find out.
hearts?
I still have both my legs, thank you.
Okay, your arm. I thought it was an arm and a leg.
Well, you see, if it was an arm and a leg, that's the approximate price for one failed mother.
Leave my mother out of this. She's a wonderful half-sibling.
One
Yeah.
time.
Edward.
No. No.
Moving on.
Yeah.
What?
What'd
This
you
is the
do?
greatest day ever.
Why?
What's
Bye.
up?
So somebody's like, Moon was like, oh, dude, is there like concept art? I was like, well, no, but let me grab the like description what a fluff it is, and it's boo. Why'd you do this
What?
to me? So I opened up Google Drive where everything is stored, and it's like, did you know there's a dark mode now? And I was like, yes. And then I opened it up, and it was still light mode inside the actual.
Ooh,
I
Don't
love how that's what made it the best day ever.
I'm a simple creature who
No.
loves spreadsheets. God damn it.
And dark mode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. Oh my god, completely unrelated. But for those of you who are super duper fans of myself and David specifically, every Thursday is Viking Thursday, and we started a Satisfactory game. And I, over the last week, went back to the Satisfactory game and started building an Excel sheet for all our inputs and outputs. I'm so happy.
I didn't understand any of that.
Hey,
That's
I've
awesome.
been focusing more on trying to. This campaign has been one of my main focuses, and trying to get Roll for Beer back up and going.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah,
we're
that's-
really excited for the next episode.
Hell yeah.
Which will be coming out soon.
Flufflet.
Soon. I have a question.
Oh,
For my fellow players, what was like the initial seed for like creating your character?
I got the-
What is that like little seed of inspiration that made Ski or Flint or Colt? Like what's that like root?
Has anyone seen the multi-python in the Holy Grail?
yes.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
killer rabbit
Yeah.
is what I inspired Ski from. This
That's so
the
good.
rabbit just bought. I was like, what would be a good? Oh, sorry, my dog found their squeaky toy. What would be a good character act? And I was like, I really want to make a killer rabbit for Monty Python's and the Holy Grail. And then I just built with that. I'm like, how do I make a killer rabbit? Barbarian. Got it. And then just made a backstory.
Love it.
That's good.
That's where I
Love
got
it.
the character.
I'm just imagining that that's your Fluffit in the background.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
That's how they talk.
Destiny Moon is right. The name Ski or Skileta is based off one of my old characters, who was an axolotl. However, her name wasn't pronounced Skileta, but they still nicknamed her Ski. I changed it around a little bit because I really like the name. We played the character for probably 3 to 4 sessions, and then the campaign died. So I decided to move the name over here. But it's a little different, and yeah, it used to be an axolotl, and I love axolotls, but I also was like, I want to make a bunny. And then I was stressing when people were like, you need a name. I'm like, shit. Oh no. And so I was just like, Skileta. And I was like, where'd I get that name from? And I was like, I know where that name's from.
Amazing. How about you, Cole?
I don't know. When I read the prompt, honestly, I think I said in our like the very beginning, like the chat too. My first thought was like, because of how I kind of thought people were gonna play or build their characters, I'm like, what if he just had like some like rich boy and he threw him into the frontier?
Nice.
He can rely on his old man's money. He can rely on his old man's money. He's a
Having
rich
no,
boy, and he's got-
Yeah.
having like
God!
no idea really like how the world works and like needing to like learn those like lessons.
It's amazing. Mine was this little guy.
I love it.
I was wondering the entire time. I was like, is 6 just a Heimerdinger
But
turret?
there's okay, so I've played Heimerdinger in like a 3-year ago campaign, and it just, as campaigns do,
Yeah.
except for this one, knock wood, pray to the gods, fizzle out, right? So
Calm down, Moon.
No,
No,
we're
I
not
know,
going
right?
anywhere,
So-
baby.
so it was like, I've always wanted to do it, and then I reprised it for like another campaign that immediately fell out, and then I'm like, okay, not do Heimer. Like, I want to try like something that kind of, feels like it got the turret. And then another friend of mine was having a different game, and I'm just like, hey, let's do a bounty hunter. And then I'm like, for me, voices are a big part of my character. So when I make a character, I don't know if you guys can hear that sound, but
I was like, it's an ice cream truck.
yeah, the rice is ready. It's a rice cream truck.
Oh my
Okay.
god, it's the rice.
Yeah, the rice cooker.
Track.
But I love just getting voices. For me, D&D is a big part of just stepping outside of reality and just playing a character that I am not, and just being someone that I can just step in someone else's shoes, and just like, yeah, it was a COVID, I think, coping mechanism to start with. And then now I've really enjoyed the acting without having to go to auditions part of it. And
Yeah.
Yeah. so
Yeah.
so I feel like, all right, well then stepping into voices is a big part of me getting into character, and then being able to go all out this time around with a complete costume as well has really like allowed me to be
Which-
like, get into it.
So good.
But thank you so much. Yeah, and I
That's
want to have a
correct,
couple different
absolutely.
shirts. He's gonna have to change his outfit from time to time. But for the root of Casper though has been my want to be a father. I'm not a father right now, so there's always been just a drive for me to be paternal and being able to provide and being able to protect. And in this case, very much a chance to protect was already passed, and then I get another chance to do it, and damn right he's gonna do it, right? So that's just like a big part of where Casper is. He's just kind of a mix of Heimerdinger and me wanting to be a dad and like, I don't know, run around and catch people, solve crimes, you know? Be a vigilante, because still ACAB, but still.
If you ever want to be a temporary dad, I'll happily let you watch Nora, and you can. I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah, I'd be honored to meet your family at some point. I've got a fantastic fiance of my own. Chilling on the couch there.
Have a big old dinner one of these nights with everyone.
That would be lovely.
Yeah.
On the note of dressing up and role play and everything, one of the things I definitely want to do, and we'll have to find a time where we can convince Pixie to come down for it, is I would love to do an in-person show with all of you. It means I can't forcibly mute all of you guys and say, hey, sorry, you don't get to listen to this bit.
Everyone earmuffs.
Yeah.
Let's just ask them to leave.
Yeah, that's where we can just leave and go take a like.
Wait, if we're gonna do that,
Except
do I
I
need
will
a
be at
full
the door with
fursuit? Because that ain't happening.
I'll just ask my contact in the audience later.
Yeah, no. If anyone's gonna have expensive costumes, it's oh god, it's gonna be Ski and myself.
Oh, the bunny suit? Hell,
Oh my
fucking-
god.
that would be a tough one. I mean, you're rocking the ears, and that's, I think everyone's imagination can do the rest.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe wear
Yeah.
white.
those are solid.
We talked about doing cosplays and costumes and stuff, David and I, forever ago. And David was like, yeah, like this company makes really good hats. And I think there's one in here for Sophia for sure. And I found it, and it's like $800. And I was like,
Ooh.
I can't spend $800 on this hat, but it's so pretty.
Oh,
I
is
think
that
this
the
was, like, $30 on Amazon?
Savior, pull it down.
is that the oh, what was it called? The colors one
Yeah,
that I sent you, the from out of Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that has like the black velvet underbrim
Yeah.
and the like bullet shells and the
Yeah.
Oh no, I think it was playing cards. I don't remember.
I love the costume. It was one of my favorite things. We're like, oh, we're gonna take a break. Okay, I'll be right back. I was like, where is he going? And then he comes back full costume. I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
that
now
was
I
fun.
want a costume.
That was just a little bit of I just want to, like, I don't know. I want to introduce myself as who I am, and then I want to get into playtime as my character. And I kind of wanted to keep that going, but I'm just like, that fucking sucks. That's not relaxing at all. Like, and then sometimes we don't have like as long as we had that time, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna show up in character,
Yeah.
or at least looking like him.
I love this campaign. It is my highlight of one of my
It's so
highlights
good.
of the week.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely is. And it's crazy how now it's kind of making time move faster a little bit in general, because it's like, I've got so much to look forward to on Wednesday. Like, let's just like do this week again,
Yeah.
and a week again, and a week again, and a week again. And it's fucking, guys, it is April 17th.
Wednesday.
Like,
No, true.
is that not blow anyone else's minds?
Time's
I have
going.
so much planned
Um,
this week alone. I'm gonna look like a different person by next Wednesday. I'm not
Oh.
even joking. Head's being shaved. It's like all these things to then not complete shaved, but I'm going back to my old haircut. So that's going on. I have a tattoo coming up. I have all this
Ooh.
stuff coming up, and I'm
Nice.
like getting ready for like sessions. I'm like, even when I was talking to my tattoo artist, like, so I have Wednesday up. I'm like, nope. They're like, why not
Yeah.
Wednesdays? And I was like, I have a thing.
I'm
All
like
my
looking
schedule when people are like, hey, you want to hang out Wednesday? No. Why? I got to
Hey.
hang out with my other family.
I was looking at
Uh-huh.
concerts today, and there was, I can't remember exactly which one, but there was one, and it was on a Wednesday. I'm just like, nah, that's Sacred days.
Sacred day.
Mhm.
Wednesday,
Sacred
I'm
day.
like, Wednesday's blocked. Once I'm done work, no one can talk to me on Wednesday.
Wednesday is for the hammer.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, from
the
like
hammer.
6 o'clock on, I'm like, I'm not available.
God,
I-
I love that we settled on the hammer as a group name. It's such a good like.
I just keep like, cause I'm like, the first thing we found was a freaking hammer. And I was like, why not the hammer? And I'm like, it's such a stupid name.
Yeah.
They're not gonna agree with
So
that.
good.
And everyone's like, yeah, the hammer. I'm like, oh, okay.
I love
Yeah.
something like we're an object like named after.
There's been a few times where I've heard it, and I think of like Captain Hammer from Dr. Horrible's musical.
I am unfamiliar with that. What is
I
what is that?
Have you
I
never
love it
seen
so much.
Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog?
What?
Oh,
No,
it's
I've
so
never
good.
heard
Oh
those
gosh,
words
you
together
have
ever.
to brag.
It's so good.
Neil Patrick
I will say
Harris,
this.
English
Moon-
Day.
Moon showed
um,
it to me. Moon was the
Oh
one
my
that was
God.
just like, I have to sit down and I have to show you this. And I watched it, I'm like, yes.
Yes, Moon.
2008.
Yes.
What? How did I? What? I haven't heard this ever.
And the songs are
it's a very
so
deep-
good.
Good.
Oh my god.
So
Okay, I'm
good.
fucking watching this tonight. This is
Yes.
a binge after tonight.
So
Goodbye,
we're
guys.
gonna all
Lovely
sign
to
off
see
now
you.
and have a watch party.
Before I let everyone go, because we're gonna go spend some time with my family and have a great time. A couple of like behind the scenes updates, Logomancy stuff. We'll do some of the business stuff. First and foremost, we have a new website. So for those of you that have been tuning in and been watching, we have a brand new website. Merch is currently offline because I have to move it all over to the new merch management platform. The nice thing is that our prices are, for the most part, coming down. So I think t-shirts were like $35. That's never sat right with me, and it's because there was like 3 intermediaries before the production. I think they're dropping to about $27.50. The only downside is now I'm in a position where larger sizes unfortunately cost more, and I'm kind of hogtied by the fact that we're dealing with direct suppliers. I'm trying to negotiate a way to fix that, but we will see how that goes.
There's one thing I want on that site because I got a sneak peek last week. You know what I want, so I'm gonna get it.
They're talking about one of the options we'll have is
Get in the
we'll
comments.
have denim jackets coming out. We'll have some new toques. We'll have some new hats. We're gonna have some really cool options. The website offers us a lot more control over things like that, including things like, for example, we have the option to open up like a membership style Patreon thing where we can release behind the scenes content. If you guys are interested in that stuff, let us know, because as much as we love doing this for all of you and hanging out and spending this time with you guys, we don't know how much you want to support us, and we feel really bad asking for money. So if that's
True.
if that's a thing you guys are interested in, let us know. We would love an opportunity to kind of give you guys ways to support, or if a Patreon is something that you're interested in, let us know.
Can I just offer one thing real quick?
Yeah.
As a nice little frame, we're not asking them for money. We're providing a product that people are completely willing to partake in or not.
Yeah.
We're not asking for nothing. We're providing.
Yeah, and that's definitely like the way we have to think about it. But you know, both James and myself are very much the kind of people where we're like, well, no, we're doing this because we love doing it.
This is a great way to continue doing it and to make it better for everyone.
Some things that'll be going up on that, when we talk about like merch and stuff down the line, we're re-releasing our Pride shirts, so it'll be the logo on my chest in a negative featuring the Pride flag. I think it's the right Pride flag. I'm gonna have to double check because
I think so.
Yeah.
I think when I saw it, I don't think the most recent one, but it's still like a good one.
Yeah. I know it's at least the trans inclusionary one. I don't know if it's everything.
It's just missing the intersex flag in the middle of that triangle.
One thing that we're doing with that we're really excited for, and this is something that we're allowed to do by the new website design, is the proceeds from those shirts actually go to the Alex here in Calgary. So that's a big thing about kind of ways where if you want to support us but you also want to support a really awesome cause, buying those shirts is fantastic in terms of like we're really excited to be able to work with those groups. And yeah, so there's a bunch of exciting things coming down through there in the future, but I kind of want to let everyone know that was happening. James has sent me some notes. We're going to be at Calgary Expo, so if you are in the wonderful city, I think we're now officially Calgary the Blue Sky City. I think that was the new thing I just saw. Wonderful use of $5 million and $20 million to redo all
Calgary,
this.
the Blue Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
we
need
don't
an
talk
orange
about
one.
that.
We need an orange one so we can be
It
part
has a
of it.
little hat on it.
Yeah, I like the Blue Ring. It's grown on me. I hate it, but I love
I
it. I
drive
love
by it
it.
every
you know?
day, and I'm like, I want to jump through that with my Jeep.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you're thinking of that.
But yeah, a bunch of us are going to be around on the weekend on Expo. That's April 26th to 28th. I think I'm planning on trying to go. I've got some friends coming down.
I will be there the 26th actually, so
Okay.
I will be walking around though in kind of cosplay-ish. My friend's making me like a kimono jacket, and I'm doing my face paint, and I have flower crowns. So yeah, you'll see me around. I'll come bother. You know what? I will just find David, and I will just bother him for everybody in our group.
I probably won't be there until Saturday, so I got that.
I will find James and bother him for everybody in the group.
And then if you are also in the greater Calgary area, May 4th we're going to be hosting some D&D sessions at the Airdrie Public Library. We have a fantastic working relationship with them. Some way that we have a great opportunity to kind of give back to that community who's been very supportive in helping us grow and develop. So we're very, very excited to be able to partner with them again. There's going to be some workshops. I think we're going to be talking a little bit about how to like set up streams and podcasts and stuff like that. So some of the really cool things that we're doing. As Geek mentioned, we have Roll for Beer back and slowly making its way in. The Friday shows are on hiatus. I got a new job and I have not had time. We're solving that on Saturday. A bunch of us are getting together. We're making some content. So we're very excited to be able
I
to
will
do
be
that.
seeing you there.
You will be, yes.
Me too.
Neon, I meet you in person. It is
Yeah.
finally has come to
But
commission.
on the 4th, yes. I think I said I wanted that too.
God damn it!
Got too excited.
You lied again.
Wow.
You aren't
God.
excited to see me.
I'm so excited to meet you.
Bye.
Fuck it, the square's saying
Fire.
no, it's not going to. Give me a second. Come here.
Yeah, we're really lucky to be in an opportunity where
Oh, here we go again.
we're going to be able to do some really cool work around the community. We're looking to do more of that. So if you are in the Calgary area and you're like, hey, we're a group that really wants some people to come in and talk about podcasting and or streaming content or Dungeons and Dragons, reach out to us. We would love an opportunity to work with you a little bit more in depth and get kind of an opportunity to explore with your community what this looks like. From the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure from the rest of my players, thank you so much for tuning in for the last 13 episodes. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Hang out with us for a little bit as we chat and you know, get an opportunity to discuss a little bit more. And we are going to be back next week, a little bit late, as I mentioned. We'll be about 30 minutes late. I have a staff meeting, unfortunately, that I have to attend to because I'm leading part of it. I know, right? But so we'll start a little bit late, but I promise we'll be here and we'll be resolving some arcs. We'll be setting up some new ones, and we'll be causing a whole lot of chaos in
Excellent.
the meantime. We're gonna be sending out the love to.
As we get ready to send out, I want like one required reading thing from every character regarding their player. Like, what's that one thing you want everyone to go check it out and then come back next stream? Be like, oh yeah,
that's-
Colt. I want a
tough.
task. I want to give
Give me
our
homework,
audience
damn it.
like a little like, hey, go listen to this, go watch this.
I
For Sophia, it's cue up Just a Man from the Epic musical and have it transition right into Hayloft 2 from Mother Mother.
You're
Go
gonna need
do
to
it.
write that on
It's one of the-
chat so I can listen
Yeah.
to that.
I
We should
will
probably just-
absolutely. Hell,
Probably just
I'll
put it in
even
the
I'll
chat.
even stream. I'll send the audio right here once we've hung up. I will
Oh,
stream
yeah.
it live to you.
What was the first song? I got the Hayloft.
Just a Man from the Epic musical, the Troy Saga specifically.
I don't know for Ski. Like Ski is a character that is really close to my heart, and if I give you something that I know is like ski, I'm gonna give away a lot of shit. So one thing I will say is there's this song from The Cab called Angel with a Shotgun.
Yes.
Nice. That's a good one.
That
I love
would
that
be
song.
ski.
I
So
think I put that
would
one
say
on my list.
it's on my list, but
Yeah.
it works with ski. So I recommend Angel with a Shotgun. And you know what? I'll throw a little tidbit in there. This is not a phase by Citizen Soldier.
Ooh. Quick.
Brian, what's your required reading or listening?
I mean, Heimerdinger, if you are aware of the game League of Legends, is a character within it.
And we're
He's
done.
where the turret inspiration
done.
kind of comes from.
Oh,
It's okay.
damn
Keep
it.
going. For the VOD.
That's okay.
All good.
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah,
recording,
man.
so.
All right. Well, yeah, definitely them, and then yeah, Teagan, whatever the fucking main character is from there, or
I don't know. I just call him Liam Neeson. It's
Yeah, yeah.
fucking Liam Neeson. I don't know.
or John Wick is also kind of in there as well.
Mm.
Dude killed the dog. That is the most realistic movie I've ever seen. Anyone touch my dog?
Right?
Yeah.
A little bit of Johnny Cash, as far as like Man in Black, but yeah, that's kind of his character in a nutshell.
I am. What about Colt?
I'm just gonna the playlist. I think Adventure of a Lifetime by Coldplay and also Young and Stupid by Headley.
Oh, I also have White Rabbit, which might be a good one. It's on my playlist. So
I can see the transition to Rage through White Rabbit. Absolutely.
The song that
That would
kicked
be
a lot
mint,
of this
actually.
off, this whole universe, Cattleman's Gun by Dean Brody.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay.
It was like I was like, this would make a really good D&D story, and then I was like, oh, I gotta like edit the universe a little bit to make that work, and then it was like, oh shit, I can't stop.
They're like, hey, I have this really good idea. We need like a couple people who are very good at theater and very good at like just